Well, thank you. It is so good to be doing concerts again. It's been 2 years since our last Forestview Middle School band concert. And it's just been a frustrating 2 years because we would start to prepare music and then something would get shut down, or we would get back and there wasn't enough time to prepare for a concert before the end of the school year like last year. So you guys missed the entire hot cross buns and jingle bells, and so we apologize for that. And hopefully you're not disappointed with what you just heard, because these kids have been just working really, really hard, and I am so proud of them. They have made up all of the time that we lost playing as a group last year. They have worked really hard, and they're just a great group to work with. So we've jumped right full speed into what a normal 7th grade band would be playing that hadn't missed 4 months of their 6th grade year. So that piece was To a New Beginning, because I wanted to start with that one because this is kind of a new beginning as we get back to our concert routine. So the next piece that we're going to be doing is, again, this is not 6th grade level music at all. This is a very mature, advanced song that has a lot of little puzzle pieces that are put together, and it's got a lot of what we call exposed parts, where some people, some sections are playing by themselves for just a little bit, and then other sections add in, which can be scary for newer musicians. So they're doing a great job on this. So I'll just read, in case you didn't get a chance to see the program, I'll just read a little bit about this so you can visualize in your mind what the music is representing. So it's Well, thank you. The next song that we're going to play, well, I really have grown to like all of our songs that we're playing. Like that last one, I was really surprised that the kids bought into it as quickly and as much as they did. It's an advanced song. Something you definitely would never pull off with a first-year band or anything like that. And they really enjoyed it, and because of that, I really enjoyed it. And but this next song, I really consider our feature piece of the concert. This is Arctic War, Rise of the Penguin Army, and the story is that the composer wrote this song for his own son's middle school band. And it tells the story of how these kids, even though they're in middle school now, before we know it, they're going to be the adults running the world. And so we talk to the kids a lot about like, what are you going to do when you grow up? How are you going to help the world? How are you going to take over the world? Those kind of things. And the composer kind of writes it as a song of war, like, here we come, because we're taking over, as middle schoolers now, pretty soon we're adults. And so it's got this sound of building war, and it's a really cool piece. The only thing that we kind of joked about is that the song is called Arctic Wars, Rise of the Penguin Army, because the mascot for the school that it was written for is the penguins, which I just don't see a lot of power and might in a mascot of a penguin. How about you guys? And so I said, we're going to change it to Rise of the Warrior Nation. What do you think? They don't know. When I asked them what they wanted to be as an adult, it was really interesting listening to some of their ideas. Some of them were, like, they know, and others are like, I don't know. They'll figure it out. Okay? All right, so this is Arctic Wars, Rise of the Penguin, Rise of the Warrior Nation. Yeah, that's definitely not Jingle Bells or Hot Cross Buns, is it? Could you hear all the puzzle pieces being put together all at the same time? At any given time during the height of that song, there's 10 or 12 different parts being played that have to line up to pull that off. And that's all about learning to have a sense of pulsation together, being confident in your part, all of those things. That's a really great piece. So thanks, kids, for working so hard on that one. Our next song that we're going to play also tells a story, and I'll just kind of summarize it. So this is the story of Casey Jones, and so he was a train engineer, and he was not assigned to work, and the engineer of the train that was supposed to make a run through Mississippi was sick, and so someone went to get Casey Jones, someone to fill in. So he was late getting there, so he said, "Yep, let's go." They hopped in the train, they took off, and he was trying to make up for lost time. And so he went full speed ahead, and probably faster than what the train should have been pushed to at that time. But what was happening is, at the next town in Vaughn, Mississippi, there were cars on the track that they couldn't get out of the way. There was an air line that broke, an air hose that broke, so they couldn't switch the tracks. And so they sent people out, and they placed detonator torpedoes, they were called, on the track, so that was a way of communicating with the engineers, so that if you run over those and you hear that, you know something is wrong up ahead, so you can start slowing down. Well, Casey went over those and thought, that's got to be a mistake. I'm just trying to make up time. So he kept going full speed ahead. He came around the corner and he saw the train cars in his way. And he told all of his people, all the other workers, all the other engineers to jump. And he grabbed the brake lever and pulled, and stayed at the brake lever all the way till impact. And he did die, but he saved many lives by making that sacrifice himself. And so this tells that story. And when you hear what you think is the end of the song, it isn't quite the end of the song. So wait until I kind of let you know for sure that it's the end of the song, because in this song, there's some really cool sounds towards the end. And then when you think it's done, the music goes on because the legend goes on. That's the idea. So this is Casey's last run, and I'll just warn you, it takes way longer to tell that story than for the song. It's a very short song. It's really cool. Thank you. Really a fun song to play. So before we play our last song, I just want to talk just a little bit more about the challenge that these guys have have overcome. You know, 6th grade band, this is 7th grade, but 6th grade band is the hardest year to get through. Kids have all this grand vision that they're going to be this great musician. They like the idea of playing an instrument and being really good at it, and then they realize that this is kind of hard. And some kids push through that, and some kids don't make it, and that's just our typical biggest dropout that happens from 6th grade to 9th grade is in about the middle of 6th grade usually. Well, last year, when these kids were in 6th grade, they were right at the peak of what we call the frustration factor, where, okay, they're realizing it's hard, and now we were distance learning. And the story I tell is that kids don't join band to play their instrument alone at home, usually, right? They play to do this, and this is what's fun, playing together as a group and playing this kind of music together. So I just want to thank them for really being dedicated and sticking with it through that challenging time last year. And then we came back and finished out the year, but we didn't have enough time to get into concert and have something ready to go. So we made up a lot of ground this year. At the beginning of this year, we started off with what is this next song. This is our easiest song that we're going to play tonight, but it's also the most fun, the most energetic. It's called Mojo, and it's a little bit simpler song, but a lot of fun to play. And we wanted to get something that would hook these kids into what 7th grade band is about, which is getting you to the next level. It's a totally different level than 6th grade. And they made that jump after all the challenges of 6th grade so well. So this next song that we're going to play is Mojo. I want to thank you for encouraging your kids to be in band. And by the way, between now and the next time that I see you in May for our next concert, these kids are going to be registering for classes that they want to take for next year, and band is one of those choices. And we would absolutely encourage you to encourage your kids to stick with band and sign up for next year, because it gets better and better every year. I go to our high school, I know what Mrs. Moats and I do here. We really work to get these kids at a high level. And then I see what they do at the high school, and I am just blown away. We have one of the best high school band programs in the entire state, and these kids have so much to look forward to. So get your kids involved in band all the way through. Keep them involved. All right, thank you for coming. This is Mojo.
Did Connor bring Joe's pants by accident? Those pants are like 6 inches too short.
I asked him if those are like his shortest ones. He said yes.
I think those are Joe's.
I don't know.
Holy shit.
I know.
Mine just started pounding when I was not do it and like